Have you ever faced something in life that seemed impossible? A dream so far away that everyone told you to give up? Tonight, let me tell you the story of Sarah and her 21-year journey to finish college. Sarah grew up in a small town surrounded by endless cornfields, rusted barns, and quiet streets where neighbors still waved at each other from across the fence. Her world was small, but her dreams were big. Her parents worked hard. Her mother was a nurse, often coming home exhausted from long night shifts. Her father, a mechanic, his hands always covered in oil, his back sore from bending over engines all day. They didn't have much, but they gave her love and taught her the value of perseverance. From the time she was little, Sarah had one dream: to graduate college, to be the first in her family to do so. She would sit at the kitchen table, drawing pictures of herself in a cap and gown and tape them to the refrigerator door. She imagined walking across the stage, her parents in the audience, their tired faces lit with pride, tears in their eyes. But dreams, as you know, are rarely simple. At 18, Sarah's dream seemed within reach. She had been accepted to a university, the first in her family to step onto that path. The day the letter arrived, her mother cried. Her father hugged her tighter than ever before. It felt like the door to her future was opening. The first week on campus was electric. Sarah soaked it all in. The smell of new books, the sound of laughter echoing in the dorm halls, the crisp autumn leaves crunching underfoot as she hurried to class with a notebook in hand. Everything felt alive with possibility. But then, life struck. Midway through her first semester, Sarah's body began to fail her. At first, it was small things: fatigue, headaches, trouble focusing. But soon it became impossible to ignore. She was weak, dizzy, sometimes unable to get out of bed. Doctor after doctor ran tests, but answers never came. Her assignments piled up. Her professors grew impatient. Her grades dropped. By the end of the year, she was forced to withdraw. It broke her heart. While her friends posted pictures in sweatshirts with the college logo proudly displayed, Sarah sat at home, her acceptance letter now tucked away in a drawer like a reminder of failure. Her family told her to rest, to heal, but deep inside, she felt ashamed. Still, she wasn't ready to give up. After a year of recovery, she tried again. Another university, another chance. The excitement returned. A dorm room, new classes, fresh notebooks. But once again, her body betrayed her. The illness returned, fiercer this time. She missed exams. Professors shook their heads. Friends grew distant. Once more, she had to drop out. Most people would have stopped there. 2 failures, 2 broken starts. But Sarah was different. She told herself in a whisper, "One day I will finish." Years passed. Sarah worked small jobs, in cafes, in bookstores, as a babysitter, as a cashier. Anything that kept her afloat. Each paycheck went partly to bills, partly to the small savings jar labeled college. She watched her classmates move on with life, new careers, weddings, children. Meanwhile, she carried a quiet burden, an unfinished dream. It haunted her, but it also pushed her. At 25, she enrolled in community college, this time part-time, 1 class at a time, slow, steady, careful. She studied at night after work, her eyes burning from exhaustion. She wrote essays on her kitchen table, sometimes stopping to cry quietly before pushing forward. But once again, life struck. Her health collapsed, and this time depression wrapped its cold arms around her. She questioned herself. Maybe I'm too broken. Maybe this dream just isn't mine. But deep inside, a voice whispered, "Keep going." And so she did. Over the next decade, Sarah became a fighter. She learned to manage her illness through discipline and resilience. She learned patience, taking one class at a time, building her degree like stacking bricks. It was not a sprint, it was a marathon. Some semesters she could only handle one course, other semesters none at all, but she never quit completely. Friends would ask, "Why put yourself through this? You can live without a degree." But for Sarah, it wasn't about the paper. It was about finishing what she started. Years rolled on. She saw campuses transform, technology evolve, generations of students graduate, come and go. But Sarah was still there, a quiet, determined presence, building a future that seemed forever out of reach. And then came the day. Sarah was 39 years old. Her hair carried threads of silver, her hands bore the marks of years of labor. Her eyes were older, but they held a fire no one could extinguish. She had completed her last course. After 21 years, she was graduating. On the morning of commencement, Sarah put on her gown, smoothed the fabric, and pinned her cap carefully in place. Her parents, now older, slower, watched with tears brimming in their eyes. When her name was called, she walked across the stage. Each step carried the weight of 2 decades of struggle. She shook the dean's hand, the crowd clapped, and Sarah, after 21 long years, finally held her degree. It was more than a piece of paper. It was proof. Proof that perseverance can outlast pain. Proof that dreams delayed are not dreams denied. Sarah's journey teaches us this. It doesn't matter how many times you fall. It doesn't matter how long it takes. What matters is that you rise again. So if you, my friend, are fighting a battle today, a dream that feels impossible, a goal that seems too far away, remember Sarah. 21 years, countless setbacks, and yet she made it. And so can you. This is Sarah's story, the story of perseverance.